Shalom Aleichem, sisters and brothers, holy sisters and wonderful brothers. We're continuing learning about Moshe Rabbeinu and the holy days of his life, that our lives depends on him. Maybe that's why I said lives. Our lives depends on his life. So we're talking about this situation that Hashem is telling him that he needs to go up, and Moshe is arguing, Moshe is begging, Moshe is asking, no, please, I want to stay. No one wants to die. So Moshe said, Ribono shel olam, Master of the universe, what the creations will say. The legs who were walking in the sky and the hands that received the Torah, the mouth that spoke with Hashem will die. And he could not find an answer. And even though that he did all those great things, he could not find an answer from Hashem. So what the other creations will say, if like to Moshe, death is his destiny, so what the rest of the creations will do? So even though that Moshe is keep on arguing and asking and begging to stay, HaKadosh Baruch Hu told him it's not an option. In 10 different places it's written, it's mentioned in the Bible on the death of Moshe. First place that it's written is saying, Hen karvu yamecha lamut, the days of your death are coming closer. Second place, it's written, Umut bahar, and you shall die in the mountain. Third, Ki anochi met, that Moshe said that he is going to die. Fourth, Ki yadati achrei moti, I knew that after my death, Moshe is mentioning. Fifth, Moshe ben 120 shana, and Moshe was 120 years old, bemoto, when he died. Vayamot sham Moshe, and he passed away over there. Those are the 10 times that it's written. Vayamot sham Moshe. 10 times HaKadosh Baruch Hu decreed death on Moshe and that he will not enter to the Holy Land. And still, the judgment was not sealed, was not signed, until Hashem revealed himself on him. And he told him, you will not pass the Jordan River. And all those things were light in the eyes of Moshe. Means that Moshe did not take it seriously enough to understand. He did not even consider that it will really gonna happen to him. And few times, and why? Because few times he saw that the people of Israel sinned, and he said to himself, Moshe said to himself, because I was praying for them, HaKadosh Baruch Hu, Hashem, was forgiving them and canceling the decree. And me, that I never sinned in my life, for sure that when I will pray to HaKadosh Baruch Hu, he will accept my prayer. So HaKadosh Baruch Hu, when he saw that those warnings that Hashem said to Moshe a few times, that he will die, that he will not pass the Jordan River, that he will not enter to the land of Israel, and he's not taking it seriously, and he did not pray for himself, so HaKadosh Baruch Hu set the verdict on him and made an oath that Moshe will not enter to the land, to the Holy Land. And it's written in the verses, Lachen lo taviu et hakahal hazeh, you will not be the ones to bring this public to the land of Israel. And when Moshe saw that verdict took place, he decreed on himself to fast and not to eat and not to drink, and stood to pray, started to pray, and said, I'm not moving from this spot until you will cancel any decree. Moshe said to Hashem, I'm not moving until you will cancel all the decrees. So what did Moshe did when he took that decision on himself? He put a sack instead of outfits, instead of clothing, wore a sack. That's a way of the mourners to wear a sack instead of clothing, put ashes on his body, and stood in prayer in front of HaKadosh Baruch Hu, in front of Hashem. 15 times he prayed. Means 15 different kinds of prayers. He stood and asked and begged until the sky and the land were shaking. And all creation of Bereshit said, maybe it's time that HaKadosh Baruch Hu decided to renew his world. Like everyone felt that the land is shaking, that the sky is shaking, all the animals, everyone thought maybe the Creator decided to break the world. A voice came out from the sky and said, no, it's not the time of the world to be renewed, just that it's in the hand of the one that holds all the spirits in his hands, and the spirit of every flesh and bones to take a decision about the soul of Moshe. So the sky, the heavenly voice came out and explained to all the creations that were wondering if it's the time for the world to be destroyed, that no, the world is not about to be destroyed, just that HaKadosh Baruch Hu is considering if to take the soul of Moshe or what to do with him. The problem with Moshe was to kill him so fast was not an easy thing to do, because he was so humble. He was always humbling himself. An arrogant person, someone that stands in a low level, you can push him down and he will fall and die. But a person that always goes to the lowest spaces of them all, you cannot push him, you cannot kill him. He's humble, he's already like holding himself as dead. And it's written on Moshe, that man Moshe is the most humble person in the world. What did HaKadosh Baruch Hu do? He declared in all the skies, in all the heavens, in all courts, houses of heavens, that they should not accept the prayers of Moshe. And no angel is allowed to carry the prayers of Moshe in front of him, in front of Hashem, because the Creator already signed the verdict. That's it, that he shall die. And HaKadosh Baruch Hu called all the ministers of the sky for them to come and rush, and told them, go down and lock all gates of prayers, that the prayer of Moshe will not rise. You see that Hashem himself needs the angels to protect from the prayers from rising, because if prayers are rising, that's it, they're being answered. That's why we need to pray. That's why we need to scream to Hashem every day. Please Hashem, bring the redemption. Please Hashem, bring the salvation. Please Hashem, that we shall not die. Please Hashem, that no one will die. Please Hashem, all the time to send requests, because when the prayers are up, that's it, they must be answered. In that time, the sky and the earth and all the foundations of earth and creations of Bereshit, of creation, were all shaking from the prayers of Moshe, because it looked like a sword that is tearing and cutting and nothing can stop it, because the prayer of Moshe is like the explained name, the Shem HaMeforash, that he learned from his rabbi, the angel that I am not allowed to mention his name. So there was an angel who taught Moshe how to pray properly while calling the name of Hashem, and Moshe used that kind of prayer, and it was tearing the sky to pieces. And on that hour, Yechezkel the prophet said, and I heard behind me huge noise. That huge noise that he heard was Moshe. That it's written on him, the man Moshe is huge. Same words that Yechezkel heard. It explained what he heard. Huge noise were used on the explanation on Moshe's level, that he was also huge. From there we learned. In the time that the angels of the sky saw that HaKadosh Baruch Hu did not accept the prayer of Moshe and did not look at him and it did not give him life, immediately they all opened their mouths and said, Baruch kevod Adonai mimkomo. Blessed is the name of Hashem from his place. Why? because he never changed he doesn't change his opinion according to a person. He's not afraid of no one. He's doing what that is right to his eyes. He's not forgetting anything. He's not no matter if the person is big or small, HaKadosh Baruch Hu is doing things by justice, by order, by the truth. And where did we learn it from that Moshe prayed 515 prayers, beggings? Because it's the numeral value of the word Va'etchanan. I will beg to Hashem. The verse is saying Va'etchanan el Hashem. Moshe was begging to Hashem, and the numeral value of that prayer Va'etchanan, that represents the prayers of Moshe, is in the numeral value of 515, equal to the number of prayers that he prayed. He said to HaKadosh Baruch Hu, to Ribono Shel Olam, many times that I felt sorrow for the people of Israel, I suffered for them, that they will become the special and chosen nation for you. And I saw in their trouble, and isn't it the right thing that I will see their joy? Let me see their redemption when they're entering to the Holy Land. How can it be that your Torah is right when it's written, in his day you commanded us that in the day, if a person is he has an employee, so he needs to pay his employee in the day of his work, unless they set that he will pay him in the end of the month or something like that. But if you have a worker that's supposed to get money today, you need to pay him in that day. It's a mitzvah. So I did many things for you, and where is my reward? Where is the reward of 40 years that I went in the desert, felt sorrow for your children? Where is the reward for the days I suffered for them in Egypt, in the sea, in the desert, and the Torah and the mitzvot that I established for them? I saw their trouble and their goodness, and I did everything I could for them. I cannot see where is my reward. And more than that, you're telling me that I will not even cross the Jordan River? 40 years until now, I was not teaching, and I was only doing everything that I could for the people of Israel. Immediately when HaKadosh Baruch Hu saw that Moshe Rabbeinu felt so much sorrow and he is demanding his salvation, HaKadosh Baruch Hu started to please him and told him, my son Moshe, your reward is huge in the world to come. You'll be satisfied from all kinds of pleasures and joy in the world to come. Like that it's written, Lehanchil ohavai yesh. You're one of my loved ones that loves me. I will inherit your goodness, and your treasures I will fill. Those verses are going on the righteous ones who are keeping and fulfilling the rules of the Torah out of love. Those are 300. So Shmuel the Tana said, those are 310 times 10,000 worlds of the world to come, that HaKadosh Baruch Hu in the future will give every righteous man and righteous man. 310 times 10,000 worlds that righteous people will inherit in the world to come. I already explained to you a long detailed explanation on the world to come salvation, how the redemption will take place in all the time spots in the past, and how every moment of our lives that in the past were corrected and we were worthy to be redeemed in will be part of our eternal redemption. We will have an access to those fantastic hours of that will be redeemed. So you can check other videos of mine from the last couple of weeks, and you're going to see a deeper explanation to those 310 worlds in the future to come as a reward for the righteous ones. So the righteous ones are those ones who have not spoiled certain worlds, certain times in their lives, not to be redeemed in those. So other people will have less worlds to be redeemed in, and it's also going to be amazing, like 5,000, 10,000. But those complete, huge righteous ones will have 310 times 10,000 worlds to enjoy from. HaKadosh Baruch Hu said to Moshe, your days are ending, but their length will never end. You will not need the world, and you will not need the light of the sun, and not the light of the moon and the stars, not eating and not drinking, not coverings and not outfits, not oil and not shoes, that me myself will light for you, and from my honor I will dress you, and from my glow I will cover you, and from my beauty I will purify your face, and from the sweetness of my sweetness I will satisfy your throat, you will drink. And from my chariot I will put chariot under you, and from my staff I will give staff to your hand, that the known name is imprinted on it, that in that staff I created the world. You will enjoy it, and you will have an example in the world. You will see the light in an eternal way. My staff is 1 out of 8,060,000 of the world to come. It's like a certain percentage of its glory. And HaKadosh Baruch Hu said, in this world I made many wonders by you. I took out a people of Israel from Egypt. I torn the sea for them. I brought man down from the sky for them. I fed them with the food of angels. I made the bitter water to sweet. I gave them Torah and mitzvot that are equal to the organs of the person's body and equals to the days of the year, and won wars for them by you. It's enough for you, Moshe. It's your day to come, and the day for Yoshua bin Nun to support the people of Israel. And in the future, I will write by the hand of Shlomo, your student, Shlomo the king, the son of King David, Vezarach Hashemesh uba Hashemesh. When the sun is shining, the sun is rising, the sun is setting. The sun of Yoshua bin Nun is rising, and the son of Moshe is setting. We shall continue in the next time. There is much more to learn about Moshe and his holy days. Thank you so much, and may Hashem bless you always.